Talking with the experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. My name is Rose Davidson and today my guest is Aman Agarwal and he is from India, and our topic today is technical fluency. And Aman is the founder and president of SANPRAM, Transnational, I beg your pardon, an executive education program and a passionate teacher and writer. He was formerly an engineer building self-driving trucks in Silicon Valley. Wow. Besides engineering, he has also been a sales executive at two tech companies worth over $1 billion each. So he's used to talking about both business and technology with equal fluency. Welcome, Aman, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so tell me, what is technical fluency?
Oh, right. That's a big question, straight up. So technical fluency is the ability to talk about and work on high-level technical problems and be comfortable working with engineers without feeling like an imposter, without feeling like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. So it's just as simple as that. It's about being able to work on technical problems and understand what is going on.
Yep. So I guess what you're trying to say is that you help business people trying to, I guess, communicate with engineers and on a level playing field, so they each know what each other's talking about, basically. Because I know engineers can be a bit technical and they forget that they're actually talking to a layperson, and the layperson has, whoa, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Absolutely. And even in Silicon Valley, which is full of engineers and a lot of people have technical backgrounds, you would be surprised if you go into, these tech companies and the engineers think that the business people are kind of stupid, like they don't understand what's going on. And if you talk to the salespeople, they're like, these engineers are stupid. They don't know what goes on, like how people think, how people emotionally react.
Yeah.
And so there's a big divide. And I think it shouldn't be, because both sides make their work seem more sophisticated than it actually is, right? So I've done sales before, and sales is, of course, there's a lot of nuance to sales, but at the end of the day, it's just about being able to listen, have empathy, and build a relationship with the person in front.
Yeah.
And engineers think that, oh, technology, oh my God, it's super fancy. You have to have a PhD to be able to talk to me. And it's on both sides, it's not the case. It's very simple at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. It is really simple. I used to work on construction sites, and you didn't go and speak to any of the engineers there, like, because really they just thought they were so much better than the rest of us, because they had these degrees, and not thinking that my job was just as important as their job, but in a different way. And so the language, I think they just need to change their language around what they do, basically. Is that how you're finding, what you're trying to do is trying to get people to change their language with each other?
It's more so one-sided, because there are 1 million programs for how to teach an engineer to be more salesy, but there's not enough. There's pretty much no program out there. I'm the creator of the first ever program of this kind, which helps business people learn about technology at a high level so that they can be fluent in actual work situations. There's a lot of programs to teach you how to code, teach you how to get a cheaper, quicker engineering degree, but that's not what most busy business people want. They just want to be able to understand enough to talk about these things and make decisions, right? Making decisions at a high level is what's most important for a business person.
Yeah.
And so this is the first, I seem to be in a salesy mode right now, but never mind. This is the first program in the world that is about just the making decisions part, right? It's not about learning to code or being an engineer yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pretty wonderful achievement, I guess, to have the first in the world that's doing this sort of thing. Tell me a little bit I guess tell me a little bit more about what it can do to help, you know, the people that you're helping.
Yeah, thank you so much. So the thing is, what's really going on is that times are changing, right? Everybody knows that, you know, times are changing, digital transformation and all these things are happening. There's a lot of stuff in the news. It's a lot of hype. And I feel like on one side, a lot of people are being fearful. They don't like the uncertainty. They don't like change. And on the other side, a lot of people see massive opportunity. They see, oh my God, times are changing. How can I take advantage of what's coming next or what's happening, right? So I'm trying to help the people to be more of the latter category, more excited about what's happening and how they can take advantage of these massive opportunities on the table. And and so I think one thing that would be important to talk about before we talk about the actual benefits of the program or, you know, that stuff is why technology in the first place, right? If you're running a business that sells wine, for example, or if you have some other kind of service that has nothing to do with digital technology or anything like that. Why should you worry about technology? Why should you care about what's happening in the tech side, right? Maybe that would be a good segue into the actual benefits of the program. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, I think what really what really tech does is it helps you automate things that previously humans were doing, or it helps you do the same things for much cheaper. Right? So an example is, and I'm going to take a wine example. This person, his name is Gary Vaynerchuk. He used to have a wine company. He was selling wine, literally, that was his business. And he had one store in New Jersey in the USA. Okay, selling wine out of that store. And this was like, I think 15 years ago. And he decided that, wow, this technology thing is really coming up. How can I make use of that to grow my business? And so he did the simplest thing possible, which is open an e-commerce store exclusively for wines. All right. So the actual business, if you look at the 3 shoe boxes, right? Where does the money come from? Where does the money go out? And what's left in the middle is your profits, right? It's as simple as that. He said, okay, if I can use technology, I can greatly increase the number of money coming into the first shoebox. All right, because you can reach a lot more people for a lot cheaper through the internet. And as for the costs, they're pretty much the same, and they scale with they just scale with the number of customers you have. So it's not like you're putting in huge investments for huge inventory unless you reach a massive scale, right? By which time you've already made it, like you've already killed it. And so even with a simple business like that, simply an e-commerce store, seems to be some audio noise out there. That is a very simple example of how technology can help you. You can automate the sales in a way by just making it cheaper to send your ad or whatever to 1,000 people at the same time. With the digital advertising. And I think at the end of the day, it's not really about technology, it's about the business you run. If you understand if you're a student of your own business, if you understand, okay, these are all the 98 things that I need to do to run my business, and this is the money I'm spending on each of these activities, and this is the time I'm spending on each of these activities. If you have technical fluency, you can look at this list and decide, okay, that I can delegate to a software. This a software can do. This also a software can do for much cheaper. So now I'm left with 40 things out of 98 that I need a human being to do. All right. So I've saved money on, 48 of these things and time. And now I can do what I really like to do, which really gives me value, which really gives me, a sense of purpose in my own business. Because you probably experience this. After you run a business for a while, it becomes monotonous, right? Because you're doing lots of things are pretty much the same things every day or every week.
Yeah.
And so really technology is about delegation, whether you delegate to somebody else or you delegate to a software. It's just that technology can do it much cheaper.
Yeah, I found online a new software program, and I won't name the brand because I'm not an affiliate, but they're offering all sorts of things, as in funnels and sales funnels and lead magnets and web pages and the whole box and dice. And it's like they're offering it so cheap at the moment. To get, obviously because it's new and they want to get people in, and they've got this lifetime license.
Mm-hmm.
You never have to pay another cent or buy another bit of software from them ever again. And I think, oh my God, if I had the money to buy it, I would. And it's not all that expensive. It's just, some people can afford it and some people can't. And, I looked at, they even have a payment program that you can pay it off in 12 months. I think, oh my goodness, you're paying twice the price if you do it that way. But still, by the time you buy all these other bits and pieces, to do the same job, and this one just does everything, it's amazing, and I'm surprised that some other companies haven't jumped on the bandwagon to offer that same sort of a thing, because honestly, they'd make a killing now. They really would, quite literally. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your program, Aman.
So the program is a 2.5 month program for busy executives only. It involves a lot of reading and building technical fluency from the ground up. Basically, if it takes 4 years to become an engineer in that domain, I take out all the parts which you don't need to make decisions about technology, and I compress it into surprisingly a 2 month program, which anyone can take pretty much, regardless of their background. I've had one person who is a gold mining executive in South Africa. All right, he has a lot of experience in gold mining and metallurgy, but absolutely nothing to do with digital technology. And he's one of my most successful students in the program. And he wants to start a new mining company in the near future, because he's seen all the inefficiencies in the gold value chain. And he says, oh my God, I can save 30% on the margin by simply using software.
Yeah.
And so you add that up. If you can make 30% margins extra in a business like gold mining, you'll be a billionaire in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's the kind of scale we're talking about. And these are the most simplest technical things. You really don't need an engineering degree to understand these things. You can pay a student in high school like for 2 months to build what's needed to save those margins.
Yeah.
And so it's about learning, starting at the high level. Okay, like how to make a match between the business side and the technical side. How does technology work? What are the different moving parts? And then it's a lot about repetition and practice. And by practice, I mean making real decisions, a lot of case studies like, okay, so you have this business. Then I want you to break this business down, look at all the parts that go in, and see what you can change with technology.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting people into the habit of making high-level technical decisions every single week.
Wow, that's a pretty great program for those at the high level. Yeah. And so do you offer anything for lower level executives?
So when I said high level, I just meant the engineering side at the high level.
Okay.
it doesn't mean you're a high level or low level executive. It's just
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So what else can you tell me about what's going on with what you're doing?
Yeah, so I would like to talk about artificial intelligence and
Yeah.
the whole hype around it. And I think your listeners, I assume many of them are not engineers, hopefully. um, so maybe they might want to know, since I'm from the self-driving cars
Yep.
industry, which is all about AI. Maybe they would want to know what to make of it, right?
Oh yeah, I would like to know.
Yeah. So I think AI is going to take away all the tasks, and I'm not saying jobs, I'm saying tasks. It's going to take away all the tasks that have a certain formulaic process.
Yeah.
Which means if you can show a toddler or somebody with no background, if you can tell them like, hey, here are 500 examples, and then can you do this task by looking at these 500 examples? All right. You would be surprised how many tasks are taught like that. You just look at somebody do it 5 times and then you can do it, right? Whether it's in manufacturing or image recognition, or like, okay, if you don't know what a cat is, all right, and if you don't know what a duck is, if I show you 50 pictures each, this is a cat and this is a duck, after that you'll never have a problem, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so you don't need a PhD in what cats are and how they evolved and whatnot to be able to do that job. And so anything that you can show examples of, and then the person is like, okay, I got it, I can do it. All those tasks are going to get delegated to a software really quickly.
Yeah. AI is coming more to the fore every year. I think there's so much like is like driverless cars and things, and buses and so forth out now. I don't know about where you are, but in Australia they're being trialled quite extensively in the capital cities. So yeah, it's a bit of a scary thought. We thought, like Dick Tracy back in the 50s and 60s, whoever wrote those stories really was very intelligent, I think, because they've predicted what's happening. And I don't know how they could do that, but yeah, they've had a great imagination, or they've traveled to the future or something.
I wish.
Time travel, that'll be next on the agenda, I think.
It's first on my agenda. I can go back to college and give myself a slap on the face. That would be amazing.
Yes, we could all do something different when we were at school. Yes.
Yeah.
Wake ourselves up to the fact that we're stupid and young. Anyway, so where can people find you, Aman?
So they can find me on my website, sanpram.com, SANPRAM.
Yep.
And it's a pretty simple website. It's just 2 pages, so they're not gonna get lost on the web page. I'm sure of that. Yeah.
All right, and so you've got a personal website, and you've got a medium. What does that one mean?
Oh, that is an article. So that is an article, and it's linked on the website as well. It's a free long essay that explains the basics of technology to any layperson. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'll put those links in the YouTube channel when I post it up, so that people can get to them, and on the other podcast platforms. So yeah, they'll be able to find you with absolute ease. Anyway, Aman, thank you so much for joining me and explaining what technical fluency was. I had no idea, and now I'm a little bit better informed. So I'll be sure to make sure that I use a bit of technical fluency when I'm speaking with my clients.
Appreciate it.
All right, Aman. Thank you, and enjoy
Thank
your
you
night.
so much.
Oh, your
You too.
day. It's your day. All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.